In accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act, notice of this meeting has been provided by filing a copy thereof with the municipal clerk on January 3rd, 2012, faxing a copy thereof to the Home News Tribune, the Star Ledger, the Mirror, and the Monitor on January 4th, 2012 at 3:47 p.m., and posting a copy thereof on the bulletin board on the main floor of Borough Hall, 221 South Fifth Avenue, Highland Park, New Jersey, on January 4th, 2012 at 4 p.m. The fire exits are to my right and my left, which is your left and right respectively. Assistive listening devices are available. Chief Risco, would you, I'm sorry, first we need to, I read the open public meeting statement. Chief Risco, would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, please?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Clerk, would you call the roll, please?
Mayor Meekhoff,
Here.
Councilwoman Brill Mittler,
Here.
Councilman Erickson, Councilwoman Foster Dublin,
Here.
Councilman Millay,
Here.
Councilman Morris,
Here.
Councilwoman Welkowitz,
Here.
Borough Attorney Schmier,
Here.
Borough Administrator Kovac.
Here.
Okay, can I have a motion to approve the minutes of the adjourned and organization meeting held January 3rd, 2012?
Motion to approve?
Second.
Roll call.
You could just do all in favor.
Okay, can we do this by acclamation? Would all in favor say aye?
Aye. Aye.
Abstain.
Okay. All right, before we do the council reports, I'm going to change the order a little bit this evening. Before we do the council reports, I'm going to ask Borough Attorney Schmier to give us a brief update on the status of our Mount Laurel, I don't want to call them proceedings, I'll call it situation. So Ed, would you brief us just on where we are to the extent that you can?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. As we reported at the special meeting we held last week, there is an interim settlement agreement which was reached with one of our Mount Laurel litigants, which is River Road HP. That actual settlement agreement is being circulated, reviewed right now by our special planning consultant, Phil Caton, and it should be executed shortly. As a result of that, the May 11th arguments over the various motions, our motion to dismiss their case, their motion for what's called summary judgment, have both been withdrawn by both sides without prejudice, assuming that we move from the interim settlement agreement to a final settlement agreement. And the final settlement agreement will involve working over 60 days after the initial interim settlement agreement is signed to take a look at a concept plan and work on the zoning that would wrap around that concept plan. And finally, we still have one additional litigant, of course, American Properties, and we have been in touch with them. They're fully aware of the terms and conditions of the settlement with River Road HP, and we are planning to schedule a follow-up settlement meeting with them. That is, Mr. Caton and I are going to meet with American Properties over the next several weeks to continue discussing, hopefully settling that matter as well. That's my report, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, thank you, and we'll still have opportunity for both the governing body and for the public to provide input as we move forward through the process.
Absolutely.
Okay, thank you. Okay, all right, council reports. Councilman Millay?
No report.
Councilmember Foster Dublin?
Just a few items. Coming up on May 20th, it's going to be the Highland Park 5K run. And not only, the run starts at 8 o'clock in the morning, so all you heart-healthy people, come on out. Registration is at 5 a.m. The race starts promptly at 9 a.m. And the awards ceremony will be at 10:30 a.m. in the morning. So please come out. To get more information on what's the race, the registration, and what's required, please call our Department of Community Service, which is at 732-819-0052, or go on the Borough website and you'll find more information about what's going on. At the 5K race, it's encouraged, people are encouraged to bring donated food, cans in particular, to be donated to the food pantry. So sign up and also come out to race and bring a can of donated item for our local food pantry. Right after that, on May 25th, will be our kite flying day in the park. So kite flying will start promptly on May 25th at 10 a.m. in Donaldson Park. Again, for those persons who are interested, you can go to our website or you can call our Department of Community Service and you'll get more information about if you want to go fly a kite. And it's always a good time. I didn't mean it like that. Okay, so all you kite flyers, come on out and fly your kites. And last but not least is on Sunday, July 1st in Donaldson Park, we'll be having our fireworks. So we'll be celebrating 4th of July a little bit earlier. And all departments have been very, very busy planning what is promising to be a fun-filled day in the park. So the fireworks, the events actually starts at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And the firework will actually start at 9:15, but there will be lots of activities that if anyone who's interested in participating will have a great time. And I just found out today that we have a municipal band, because I saw something that today there was going to be Highland Park Municipal Band at the high school, and I'm seeing it on the paperwork again that Highland Park Municipal Band will be playing. So something that I didn't know that I need to look into. That's my report.
Excuse me. We'll have an opportunity for public comment, and then you'll have the opportunity to speak, and that public comment session is not yet, okay? Thank you. Councilman Morris?
No report this evening, Mayor.
Councilmember Wolkowitz?
Thank you, Mayor. Just want to thank everybody for coming out to the Earth Health Fair the other day. It was a great success, even though it poured rain. Thanks everybody for coming out and participating. And also, did you mention that it was a street fair following the 5K?
Oh, I got so excited about talking about the 5K race that I forgot to mention that the street fair will be happening the same day, and it starts from 11:30 to 4:30, and there'll be art, there'll be all kind of exhibits, and we are known for our street fair now, so we get loads and loads of people that will be coming out, but Highland Park people are particularly encouraged to attend.
Did you
It's
two
our
rehearse this?
23rd annual street fair. That's a long time to be doing the street fair. It's a street and craft show, so come on out and have fun. Thank you, Susie.
Did you two rehearse this? Okay, I like this kind of interactive thing, so maybe we'll work on that for future
We
meetings.
do road shows.
Okay, good. Well, if you bring in any money, I think that's
Roadshow, we're
council
there.
property, so. I'm sorry, did you have something else you
No,
wanted?
that's good, thank you.
Oh, okay, great. Okay, so you two had a kind of shared report. Okay, good. Council President Bill Midler.
No report.
Well, that leaves me, doesn't it? Okay, so I'm going to, you know what, I will wait, and I'm sure I'll have a few things that I want to say. I know I want to say, but I'm going to wait until the next meeting. I did just want to comment that we are cautiously pleased with where we are in our Mount Laurel proceedings, and we're hopeful that there will be more positive, no pun intended, developments soon. Why don't we just leave it at that for the time being? Okay, so that's the essence of my report for the moment. I will open the floor to public discussion. Since I know we have somebody that may not have been at a council meeting before, let me just review the way public comment works for everybody's benefit. So we will have 15 minutes. We'll have another opportunity for public comment at the end if it's necessary. Of course, members of the public are welcome to speak. You're encouraged to speak if there's something on your mind. Any issue is fair game. We ask that you respect our rules of order, which is that nobody, at least during the initial session, can go for more than 5 minutes at a time. This is the way we try to limit it, except under the most extreme circumstances. And we ask that you allow yourself to be recognized by the chair after stating your name and address. Okay? And the chair does reserve the right to limit comment, and we just ask that you remember that this is a public body and that we all live in the same town, we're all friends and neighbors, so let's be respectful of each other. And with that, I will open the floor for public discussion. So please state your name and address for the record. Please come up to the microphone.
Keith Jaffe, 225 Raritan Avenue, Highland Park, New Jersey.
Concerning the work that they're doing on Railroad Avenue, I'm a little nervous because I'm seeing, I'm making my business out of concern as being a merchant as well. The cement, probably because when they were pouring it, certain blocks are cracking already. We've got trees that are dying because they haven't been planted. The point that I'm stressing is it's our tax dollars, and I don't want to know soon enough, since we have a one-year bond, that we wasted our taxpayers' money because we're going to find defects and major problems. We need some, if you want me to do it, I'll be more than glad to keep an eye. I like the guys that are doing it. The problem is it wasn't done right. Example, there were stumps that were supposed to be removed, in my opinion, when we had dirt. Rip them all up. Don't rip them up. Now that we have the cement down and the area where the trees were going to be planted, they are cracking because they didn't expect to have so many problems getting those stumps out. They're cracking sidewalks to make it bigger so that they can pull the roots out. This all should have been done in advance. We're going to have, I truly believe, complications out of that. You can't patch up. Not that I'm a cementer, but I do know, working with materials, you can't patch up cement with new cement and expect them to be one unit. It's not metal. That's what they're going to end up doing. That's just the cement. We need to keep a closer eye, or we're going to see our tax money have a problem. We're going to be past the point of a bond where we can assure. We need to make sure. And when are they going to be planting all the trees? They're so busy redoing the work that they didn't anticipate the stumps problems. So they're so busy doing that, and we've got plants up and down. I've watched mommies with their children having a problem. A lot of the trees were left in such a way that it's causing interference for people to walk because they're elongated in such a way. I watch people ride their bikes. It may not have been intentional, but people had metal parts from the trees get into the bike spokes, and people have gotten hurt. It hurts me to see this because I understand the project very much, but these things are happening too much. I love that our police department, thank God, are there to keep an eye, and they're beautiful people, our officers, to keep an eye on things, but the problem, we're gonna pay for this when the defects start showing up after we spent so much. I hope I made my point clear so that we as a town, we need to keep an eye on that. But the police department's been, seriously, Chief, they've been unbelievable in keeping an eye on things. If they weren't out there, well, we would have had some nasty situations. So that's a beautiful thing that you have them doing that. Oh, beautiful. And they work with the people. Yeah, they work with the people, mommies, with the children. I see them. It's just beautiful. I've never seen it any place I've ever lived in the past. So,
Okay,
this is
so let me briefly respond. First of all, thank you for your comments and your concern. So I sent a letter last week to the borough engineer, who is our construction and project manager for this project. We have a number of borough staff that are involved in this on a daily basis. Councilman Millay is intimately involved in this. And as you know, I am a frequent walker along this route, among other routes around town. And so I don't want to say a litany, that would be an overstatement. I created a list of a number of concerns that I had, that others had observed, that have been called to the attention of the project manager and the construction manager. You can sit,
you
that's
share
okay.
those?
What?
I'll understand.
I didn't memorize the entire list, but I certainly spoke to the issues of places where we might have issues with the concrete now or in the future. I've noticed that some of those are already being addressed. I spoke to the issues of the trees laying around at random. I mean, a number of these issues are being addressed. They've been called to the attention of the engineer and the contractor. My understanding is that we're going to have a series of weekly meetings to follow up and make sure that these things are locked down as we go forward. Yes, it is our taxpayer money. The share that's actually Highland Park's, I'm not sure, because you may or may not be aware that this was a federal grant. We didn't raise taxes to pay for this, so that's not to diminish the taxpayer money that came from other states and other parts of New Jersey where this money is being redirected from to Highland Park for this project. But I share those concerns. We're certainly sensitive to those concerns. I don't want to diminish those concerns. I'd like to think that our professionals, based on the meetings that we've had and the emails that have been exchanged, that they're keenly aware of these things. And I am sure that if necessary, we'll have, Ed, correct me if I'm wrong, we'll have adequate means of redress to ensure that the contractor fulfills the quality, the spirit, and the letter of what the contract of what this is supposed to be is. So that's not to be dismissive, but I'm confident that we'll have some very solid results when all is said and done, that these issues will be addressed. You have a brief follow-up?
Yes.
Okay.
When will we be having the blacktop, our streets repaved? Approximately what month?
Well, that's a function of when the New Jersey Department of Transportation comes back to us to finish the job they started last fall. My understanding is they're incoming. Kathy, have we gotten any additional guidance yet from the DOT?
No, I have not.
Okay, so maybe we'll do a follow-up just to see if they can help us out with that. We have inquired of the DOT. They've told us they're coming. You know, I know there are a lot of things that say they're coming, you know, but if they said that they did not plan to leave this unfinished. You have another brief follow-up.
Yes. When we blocked off Pastor Seth's, the church, and so on, and we made that into a sidewalk, there's a percentage of handicap. I happen to be permanently disabled because of no fault accidents where I got hurt in surgery. There are no handicap spots on Raritan Avenue. We need to address it. According to state and federal law, there has to be a percentage. No longer do the lots to handicaps count for the state road once we block. I checked it out. I called Christie's office. It's no longer considered. I called Trey. It's not considered. And there's still not enough in that lot. There should be more per how many spots.
Well, we have, I think we have a local expert here. Chief, is this something you can help us out with? I mean, I don't want to enter into a debate. I respect what you said, but, you know, I mean, I think we have some limited jurisdiction on the state highway, don't we?
Actually, yeah, that would be a DOT issue. We can't designate any type of parking. We have to take up with DOT. They don't know what the rules of the state road are. I've never known us to have a handicap parking space on Raritan Avenue. We can check into it.
Okay, so that's what we'll do, is we'll follow up and we'll look into that. Okay? Okay, and we certainly want to be respectful of those concerns, so I think that's an appropriate thing to look into. Okay.
Can I add
Yes,
something
please.
quickly?
Please.
I would prefer that you refer to the lot as the municipal lot. It is not Pastor's Capodale's lot.
Thank you for that
It is a municipal
clarification.
lot.
I appreciate that.
Thanks.
Thank you for that clarification. Excellent. Mrs. Bickhart? Would you enter and sign in, please? I always wanted to say that. Now that I got it out of my system, please tell us who you are and where you live.
Ms. Bickert, 301 in Magnolia. And back on the same issue I think I spoke about last time, and that's the garbage pickup in my neighborhood. There's an office building that was converted to stores, and there are social activities going on weekend. And until this week, there was the garbage bag that was put out on Saturday night and then wasn't picked up till Friday morning. And now they finally got the message that they're not supposed to do that. So there's into the entrance of the municipal parking lot that goes through to, well, it used to go through to Rite Aid, but now it's just from South 3rd. Now they fill the receptacle that's out there for the people, but it has a small opening, so it's sitting on top of there, whatever the food and whatnot have, and then it blows all over because it doesn't get picked up until Friday.
Can I make a suggestion?
Please.
I ask the administrator to work with Councilman Erickson and follow up on this with the appropriate departmental folks. This is a constructive and positively phrased suggestion, which is that if you see these things, we appreciate your concern as a citizen, and I'm not deputizing you to have to worry about these things. They're our collective responsibility. If you see these things on a weekend and you let us know Monday morning, it's just that much timelier for our ability to deal with it as opposed to on Wednesday morning, because, once we can nip this in the bud, it's less of a problem for everybody. So that's not in any way, shape, or form a criticism. I'm just saying that it's even timelier if we know about it on Monday, and we can be that much more responsive if we don't see it.
I soon don't have enough fingers to tell you how many times.
I believe,
On Monday or Tuesday morning.
okay, so that's helpful.
But it hasn't changed anything.
Well, okay,
I
that's,
was
yes.
told that.
Yeah, please.
Mrs. Bickert, I believe you're talking about the Pomerantz building?
Yeah.
Okay, I am a resident there with my business, and I'll be happy
You mean
to
tenant.
talk. Tenant.
Yes.
Right? It feels like I'm a resident there. I think I'm there more than I am at
I'm
home.
glad to know everybody's paying attention to everybody else tonight. That's a good thing.
I'll be happy to talk to Mrs. Pomerantz and the people who run the building so that they can tell all their residents
Tenants.
about
Sorry.
tenants.
Freudian
about-
slip.
Thank you again, Mayor.
I have to serve some purpose.
About the regulations regarding the garbage. I think it can be handled internally at the building as well.
I would suggest maybe you have different types of, because if you move this stuff away, the opening is yay big, and what they put in doesn't fit into the hole. If you have a bigger receptacle, one that's open, then at least it would fall inside, and if it is a windy day, it wouldn't blow over the.
I like the council president's suggestion. I appreciate what you're saying. Perhaps we can just have the landlord deal with this internally. That may be the most constructive approach. We may actually get some better solutions that way. I think that'd be great, because I'd much rather do it that way than have to deal with it from an enforcement perspective.
I stubbed my toe that I had broken at another place because the sidewalk was bad on North Third by the restaurant, the vacant restaurant. Somebody broke the window to the side entrance. I called the police department because it wasn't there at 8 o'clock in the morning when I went by that way, but it was late on mid-morning that somebody had looked like a rock was thrown through, and it was kind of blocked off with a pipe inside. When nothing happened the following day, I took a walk to, what's it called, Highland Park. They used to be up here and they moved down to the old bookstore.
Main Street.
Main Street.
Main Street, thank you. And I informed them of it, and they said they'd take a look. But nothing has changed there. I'm concerned if somebody's responsible, because just beyond that, coming back to my stubbed toe, there are these strips in between the concrete slabs on the sidewalk, and one of them is standing up, and I was walking home in the evening and it was dark, and with one eye already incapacitated, my foot didn't see very well, and it's still sticking up, so somebody needs to take responsibility.
So where is it? That's at the Charlie Brown's location?
That's just beyond between the restaurant and the driveway before the center.
Okay, so we can take a look at that too.
Thank you.
Thank you. Any other public comment? Yes. Yes.
Lou Pitchinson, 200 Jackson Avenue. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
It is very quick.
Wait 1 second. That's it? Okay, great. Well, thank you. It won't get better than that. Keith, you have another comment? Okay.
I believe this young lady was talking about correctly, Charlie Brown's, the building.
The former Charlie Brown's, yes.
Right. As I have been told by officials, the building is a big problem. The officials know, not just cosmetically, it's a problem.
Well,
It has to be removed. off the face of the earth.
I appreciate that. I'm not going to conjecture on things like that right now. So, I mean, that's an active property sale transaction negotiation, so I'm not going to deal with that in this venue. I mean, I appreciate your comments, but I don't think this is the appropriate time and place to have that
Just mention
discussion. I appreciate that.
I appreciate
You know,
that.
you said, I responded. Okay? Thank you.
If I think of something else, there'll be about half an hour to be able to make more comments.
You'll get another whack at this if you need to, yes. Okay, I'm going to close the public comment well, I'm sorry. Alan, did you have anything? No. Okay, just checking. We do have a frequent visitor program here at the Borough. You can check for valuable prizes at a later time. Okay, I'm going to close this portion of public comment. Seriously, I don't want to leave that hanging. We do value everybody's opinion, and we do want to hear it, and we appreciate the feedback that we get. I think that we're all better for it. Okay, so let me put my reading glasses back on so I can see our agenda. Okay, so I think I closed the public discussion. So clerk, would you report on advertising an amendment to bond ordinance number 1810, the public safety building for consideration of passage on final reading by title?
Bond ordinance amending and supplementing bond ordinance number 1810, finally adopted by the Borough Council of the Borough, Highland Park on May 3rd, 2011, entitled Bond Ordinance Providing for the Renovation of the Public Safety Building in the Borough of Highland Park, County of Middlesex, State of New Jersey, appropriating $4 million therefore and authorizing the issuance of $3,809,523 bonds or notes to finance part of the cost thereof, to increase the appropriation by $2,900,000 and to increase the authorization of bonds or notes therein by $2,761,904 to finance part of the additional cost, has been duly advertised for consideration of passage on final reading by title, and affidavits of publication are on file. The ordinance was posted and made available for public inspection as required by law, and this supplemental debt statement, filed in the clerk's office by the finance director prior to introduction, has been received by the Division of Local Government Services on April 9, 2012.
Thank you. May I have a motion to adopt or reject?
Motion.
To adopt?
Second. To adopt.
Roll call?
Councilwoman Bro Mittler,
Yes.
Councilwoman Foster Dublin,
Yes.
Councilman Malay,
Yes.
Councilman Morris,
Yes.
Councilwoman Welkowitz.
Yes.
Okay, we're up to our consent agenda. By the way, just Kathy, so I'm accurate, so that's it for the public safety building? We're gonna now go get bids and build? Well, congratulations to our public safety personnel. Okay, this is an important milestone, and the next phase of the project, I guess, will formally begin shortly. And we'll look forward to all being there at the groundbreaking, and then I guess we'll have a ribbon cutting at some point in the future. Okay. Consent agenda. I need a motion to adopt the following. Item number 512-150, resolution to approve bills list. 512-151, resolution to approve taxi operators license, or just the operators themselves?
Just the operator.
Okay, just the operators themselves. 512-152, resolution to approve pay estimate number 6, Conquest Industries, Highland Park Streetscape, Raritan Avenue, Phase 1. 512-153, resolution in support of Raritan River Waterfront Access Outreach Project. 512-154, resolution to certify amount to be raised by taxes for school purposes. 512-155, resolution to approve and authorize road closure for Arts Festival. May I have a motion to adopt? Oh, did I miss one? I'm sorry. Oh, I missed a few. Resolution to authorize upgrade to Enforce's police system. 512-157, resolution to approve record licenses. 512-158, resolution authorizing stipulation of settlement tax appeal. Lawrence and Lisa Title. So I need a motion to adopt.
So moved.
Second.
Roll call.
Councilwoman Bro Mittler,
Yes.
Councilwoman Foster Dublin,
Yes.
Councilman Malay,
Yes.
Councilman Morris,
Yes.
Councilwoman Welkowitz.
Yes.
mentioned.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna wait on that.
Okay.
Okay, I guess the joy of being mayor is I get to set the agenda, so I'm going back to the mayor's report because there's something I forgot to mention. Councilman Erickson was not able to join us this evening, but there is something that I know he would have wanted us to speak about, and that is we got a notice this week from the DEP, the Department of Environmental Protection, issuing a water usage advisory, the details of which can be found on the Borough website. I believe we'll have a caption on HPTV, but in essence, this is not a drought warning. This is merely reminding people that although we had an enormous amount of moisture last fall, the winter was dry. The spring has been relatively dry, even though we've had some recent rainfall. People are advised to please conserve water. That includes items such as please be judicious in the use of water for watering your lawn, watering plants, things like using water-conserving shower heads. Please don't keep the water running while you brush your teeth, and other similar types of things. There is a list with this advisory that I believe is posted on the Borough website. If you need hard copies, I'm sure we can figure that out. But I just wanted to make sure that people are aware that it's coming to be that time of year where we need to be concerned about our water usage. So just please be advised and please be careful. Okay, we are ready for a second round of public discussion if necessary. Any other comment from the public? Mr. Jaffe, would you please come back to the microphone and state your name and address again?
Keith Jaffe, 225 Raritan Avenue, Highland Park, New Jersey. Concerning, I was assisting Main Street to be able to move over much quicker than what would have normally been. It probably would take 6 to 8 months. Instead, we were able to make it happen in less than 2 weeks. Because I had the charities that I work with now for 9 years come. Police department have been wonderful, allowing Vietnam Veterans of Washington America, Lucas Charity Foundation, and the shelters in Middlesex County. I had all of them come so that we were able to make Highland Park as a community whole work for others who are disadvantaged. The lot around Main Street, could we utilize it as we have partly the police night out? Could we make it known as a community lot to be used by all of Highland Park for all different purposes, wonderful family purposes?
You mean the municipal lot?
Mm-hmm, yes, sir. I know what Paul Main Street is inspired to do. He's brilliant with his creativity, and his new associates, they're incredible people. I've gotten to know them and became friendly with them. They're great people to work with, very creative as well. Let it, in my opinion, we should use that property as it's going to be made, in my opinion, very beautiful, so that it's cooperative. Last week, for example, I hear music. I love all types of music, not just Jamaica. And they were dancing. Different people doing merengue, this, that. Outside, inside, it was beautiful. This is a building that's just about to become, and I'm seeing people have a lot of fun in and outside. That's just one example. That should be outside as well as inside. Building being community, it's nice and huge. We can easily make that all happen, and just keep what we were doing last year. Maybe it was experimental, police night out, and barbecues that we had. We could go on and on, but really build more. Now that Main Street has that building, it's amazing on what we could continue to build. And as I repeat again, the police night out, the fire department, it was great. People were interacting with the police department, the children, the baby. Oh, they loved it. So I'd really like it if we could keep an eye on that so that we continue to build. It allows the community to get very close to each other in different ways, and that, to me, is what Highland Park, since I've lived here and fell into the town 18 years ago, and that's what it's about.
Well, I appreciate your suggestion. I mean, National Night Out is certainly a unique and very special event. We have lots of other special events. What I might suggest is that you've got a lot of enthusiasm, you've got a lot of energy, and what I might suggest to you is you might get a list of the boards and commissions from the borough, and you might see if there are any vacancies. You can submit a form through our talent bank, and when and where there's a vacancy, you know, whether it's on the Arts Commission, you know, that deals with special events, you know, when and where there's a vacancy, we'd love to invite you into that process, so you certainly can attend those meetings and make suggestions, and that could be a very constructive way for you to channel that into some things that we might be able to produce at some point in the future.
Sounds like an idea, and I would like to put my phone number on record as well, so that I could be reached. I know your numbers, I know every department in Highland Park's phone numbers. My phone number on record is 732-325-9417. Address I have said, and yes, I am open to that. Absolutely.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
And also, Keith, if you are seriously interested in joining any of our commissions, there is a process in place. You need to pick up a form from the office here, and I'm sure anyone in the office would be happy to give it to you. You complete it, and then it's forwarded to the appropriate commissions.
I think it's actually on the borough website for your convenience.
Okay. One of the most passionate things that I involved myself in when it was opened up, the door was opened up by Judge Pleckner and Judge Goulart, was working with the shelters, little children, families, and their circumstances, and to be able to, I'm serious, to be given that kind of job. It was scary at first. To be able to adopt and be able to clothe and feed a lot of people, I was very uncomfortable at first, because how do you do something like that? I understand the rabbis having a lot of children and other families having a lot of children. I'm single at the time, and that always scared me. Well, now I see what it's about. It's a beautiful feeling inside. I can see now why you become parents.
Right,
Now I'm
okay.
looking forward to it.
Thank you. And when you get that form in, we will certainly contact you. The appropriate folks will contact you, and then we'll follow up and we'll figure out a way to get you more formally involved in the appropriate activities.
And I thank you all for hearing me out. Thank you, Gail, for the acknowledgement. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you, Council.
Okay, you're welcome. And I think that's all that we have, unless somebody has something else I overlooked. Okay, can I have a motion to adjourn to our conference meeting?
Motion to adjourn?
Second?
This meeting is adjourned.